Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the show today. This is comic book news for the 7th of June. Eric, time is flying, dude. We're going to be dead soon.
Ex- Exactly.
Exactly. That's what's important here. But great to talk to you. We haven't seen you for a week. So, how's your week been? You do anything interesting?
In the pool with the kids, doing a lot of drawing. That's about it.
Well, that's great, though. I mean, that's great. Do you? You're my age, so you're not retired yet. You are doing an
God, no.
actual job, and you and Thunder are in the same business, although your jobs are different. However, is your because you do have several comics out, and you've been, religiously putting them out on time and doing all that kind of great stuff. Are you doing more and more comic book stuff, or are you still kind of your job is this and that's the end of it?
Unless like Netflix or Hulu comes to me and wants to make a movie or a series about one of my books, um, I'll still be doing my day job till I retire.
I see. And
Fingers crossed.
right, fingers crossed. Yeah, there you go. But in America, the retirement age still 65.
I think it's a little closer to 66,
Oh,
six and a
is
half. It depends on your 401k.
they raised it? I don't have one of those. You're
What?
lucky. I don't have anything like that. Um, which is why I've taken care of my own retirement.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
probably smarter.
Well, I mean, if you're a business owner, you have to kind of do those things yourself. But yeah,
All
no, I
right.
don't have a 401k. I don't have. I do have Social Security though. I did work in America long enough that I'm technically qualified for it. Although I don't know if I claim it. It seems a bit weird. But here in Japan, of course, you have to pay into Social Security just like in America. So I don't know. I'll get $10 a month, maybe.
Oh wow. Well, by the time we retire, there might not be anything left.
That's fair. That is fair.
So they've
All,
been saying that for 30 years.
they keep saying that. Well, with these liberals, they like dipping into that fund.
Oh
Like
yeah.
it's chewing tobacco. And
That's a free piggy bank for them.
I think it is. Yeah. Joshua put first. We have that's a throwback to 2010. Thank you, Joshua. Um, and Chrono says he's not wearing pants. That's nice.
He's
Uh,
also retired, he says.
he is retired. Oh, that's cool. Self medication works. Well, I'd rather self fatten, but you do you. Um, right on some comic book goodness from Roger. There you go. Hey, Dave, what's up? And let's see. Yeah, freedom early. I'm really kind of trying to retire like now. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. But the problem is, I can't retire until I have a sufficient amount of money that I can live off the interest. You know what I mean?
I
So,
had a person retired at 50.
mhm.
He worked at Chrysler all of his life and retired. Let him and his wife a couple Harleys, and they're still just cruising the country in those Harleys.
That's nice, dude. That's great, right?
And that's like 15 years ago.
Yeah. See, I mean, try to take some time in your life to do what you love, and that's what I'm trying to do. Of course, mine is sailing boats, not Harleys, but it's the same idea.
Yeah.
So.
You
Uh,
enjoy.
Enjoy, right? And it's just and really it's just about budgeting. And if you can budget yourself, you can do it.
Yeah.
So I'm working on it. But we'll see how that works out. However, just another announcement. I made it yesterday, but I'm going to make it again. Coming up here in 2 weeks, the week of the 20th through the 26th of June, this channel will be closed down. I'm going to be taking some time with my wife it is my birthday week, but it's just an excuse, really. And I'm also going to be putting the computer in for maintenance, and I got a couple of additions. I want to throw another hard drive in there. I want to put another HDMI line, etc. And those things usually take about 3 to 5 days. So
Yeah. You got to get some of that porn scrubbed off it too.
I'm not actually a porn guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I get the reference, and it is interesting. It's actually
Yeah.
an interesting topic before maybe give Thunder a little more time. But when I was a kid, when we were kids, When I was about 12, I remember we had a tree house, a tree fort, which I remember I built many of those as a kid. And up in
Yeah.
there, underneath the mat, we had like two Playboys, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And we also had a hidden pack of cigarettes in an old Folgers coffee can.
Hmm.
So, which I'm sure our fathers knew all about. However,
Of course.
of course, however, um, I don't know what it was. Maybe because I was a bouncer at strip clubs for so long, but I've never really been into porn. But the point is, back in those days, it was something of course, everyone knew about, but it was a little bit hidden, right? These days, it's so out in your face that people just talk about it freely. People say the darndest things that when you and I were young, we would never say,
God, no.
right?
And going back to just porn in general, I mean, you had to hide it. You couldn't just open up your phone and go look for it, go open up the internet and go find it. I mean, you had to keep it hidden in a safe spot if you wanted it.
Right, under the mat in the
You know,
treehouse, right? Yeah.
hunting it down wasn't that easy either.
No, no. Those were stolen from my uncle, I do believe.
Well, I'll tell you, my mom subscribed me to Playboy when I was 14.
Why?
I don't know. She wanted me to, I guess, read the articles.
I see. That's interesting. Some mothers have those takes, I guess. But my point being is, I don't really have a problem with it. I mean, I worked in the sex industry for 12 years. I mean, goodness
Yeah.
gracious, I'm certainly not a prude in regards to it. I just personally don't. It's just not interesting to me, I guess. I'd much rather have a woman in my hands than on the paper, or I guess these days on the digital. It's just my
Right.
take. I'm
Yeah.
not a prude. I'm not anti. I'm not against it. I don't judge. I'm not like that at all. It just doesn't interest me, I guess.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know.
flesh is much better to touch.
It is. It is. And another thing you learn that I learned getting older, and I don't know, some people might have learned it sooner than I did. Having some manner of attachment and intimacy with the person you're with increases the experience, a hundredfold. It's way better to be in a committed relationship with someone that you actually care about than just some random hookup. That's
Yeah, sure.
another important point too. Well, I mean, I'm just saying the younger
No, I
folks.
agree with you there. I mean, when you're younger, it's probably a little. Uh,
I was
once
definitely
what?
different.
Once you hit your 20s, early 30s, you do want the attachment. You want the companionship.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But anyway, I mean, just to say, I'm not. I'm just trying to reiterate. I'm not anti against it. People can do as they like. Me personally, it's never been
Just
my
ain't your
shtick.
thing.
It ain't my thing. Yeah, it just didn't. And I really think that I sit and think about it. It must be because I spent so much time, standing and bouncing in strip clubs and stuff. I'm
You,
sure
you
that's what it
became
is.
desensitized to
Yeah, and those girls are stupid.
it. True.
They're dumb as hell, dude. They're just dumb as hell. And the funny thing is, you as a bouncer, you always get their attention because they get horned up and they can't do anything with the customers, so they're always all over you, right?
Mhm.
But the funny thing is if they know you're dating someone, which is for any of you aspiring bouncers, never tell the girls you're dating, never, because they will not leave you alone. They will be literally grabbing your cock all night. Seriously, don't tell them.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
It's not just the strippers that are like that.
And the gays probably too, but I'm not into that. Anyway,
No.
no, no.
Some women are like that. They prefer an attached man because there's no attachment for them.
Well, I think it's also a little bit of competition. Women are far more
Oh,
competitive than men. It's weird because
very much.
yeah. Well, in your mind, you think men are much more competitive. It's not true. Men fall in line with each other within what 5-10 minutes. I mean, if you have an
Yeah,
alpha
easily.
in the room, it's done, right?
Yeah.
Women aren't like that. They're super competitive. But whatever. Strippers are a waste of money. I agree, dude. Although it did pay my life for a decade. But it's yeah. There you got to handle them with kick gloves, man. Let's see. Yes, the Sendites would agree with you, Chester. Well, thank you, Roger. I'm really trying not to be judgmental. Let's get off the subject. How about that? It's your fault, Eric.
Yeah. I like my porn.
Yeah, fair enough. Um, fair enough. Anyway, let's get into it here. Maybe Thunder was busy or something like that. So let me come over here and get this set up so we can take a look. And we do have a few articles to get into today. I think today might be a little shorter than usual, but
Ooh.
we'll see. But put it up there so Eric can see what I'm talking about. And let me go over here and bring it up. And I guess you're reading titles today, sir. Go ahead.
Hold on, it's not loading for me.
Okay.
I hate when it does that. Here, I'll go over to the YouTube.
You can. It is showing YouTube. This new setup I have is working brilliantly and cleanly. I'm very happy about it. So that's all good.
Okay, you ready?
I am ready, sir.
Shang-Chi director teases Simu Li's character might have superpowers to rival Avengers.
All right. Now,
The dumpy looking chick?
yeah, well, there's a couple of them. You're talking about this Aquafina one on the right, who is super dumpy. Her parents and teachers didn't tell her to sit up straight when she was a kid, clearly. And the funny thing is, I'm a teacher, and of course, I have kids in front of me every day. I've still, even here in 2021, I'll tell them to sit up straight, right?
You got to.
I mean, it's kind of a responsibility. That's the thing, being a teacher, it's more than just teaching the subject that you're teaching. You're kind of responsible for civilizing them as well, at least being part of the process. But this dumpy thing, and she's such a weird attitude. But whatever, I'm not on about her. This whole thing's about this Simuliu's character. However, let me ask you a question. Now, you and I have been reading comics for a very long time. I've certainly read some Shang-Chi, mainly because I was a Moon Knight fan, right? So that's
Right, right.
most of my interaction with Shang-Chi is that. Although I have actually read, and I'm sure in my collection I own at least a few Shang-Chi books because I like the cover. What is the first impression you have of Shang-Chi?
First impression I got is like Bruce Lee, a guy in a gi, but Bruce Lee in a gi with a headband. That's my first impression.
Yeah, he's wearing a kung fu gi.
Yeah.
And just keep in mind the
For it.
Yeah, that's it, right? And he's a really, really good martial artist. That's it. He doesn't have superpowers. He's just really good at what he does, and that's why you saw him in books like Moon Knight and things. Because Moon Knight has, well, depending on who's writing him, he does have some moon powers, but in general, he doesn't. But that's Shang Chi, right? And if they've decided to give him powers though in this movie, and uh, I'm going to give you one chance to guess what his superpowers are.
They confuse him with Iron Fist.
No, no, they don't confuse him with Iron Fist, although that
Mm.
would have been acceptable, I suppose. No, what they've done is
They have some kind of dragon power.
they've confused him with Naruto.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they've taken the ninja thing, which of course is Japanese. Anyway, they've taken the ninja thing where they can clone themselves and turn themselves into many versions of themselves during a fight. You've seen that happen before, right?
Yeah.
It's a very ninja thing to do. Well, now this Chinese kung fu martial artist, he can do the ninja thing now. So he's going in the movie. He's going to clone himself many, many times and be able to take down the baddie because there's 100 of them, I guess. So that's what this article
The
is about.
mutant.
He's a mutant, yeah, sure. And this article is going on about why that's stupid, and it is specifically talking about Jonathan Hickman's run on Shang-Chi, which I actually have seen one of these comic books, and it is beautiful. But Jonathan Hickman really played on the fact that he's just a man, and it was very important to the character, and I think it is. And this article is showing how this is not a smart thing to do. And I agree. And they're theorizing that somehow the 10 rings are playing into it. Now, that's the article. And that's the idea. And I think, yeah, Shadow Clone Jiu-Jitsu. It's right, Bullet Ninja Hagelman. You know all about these things being a ninja. However, on another subject, other than the fact that it's dumb, you're taking power away from the character by giving him a superpower. Let him be badass all by himself, right? They don't
Always
understand the
has been.
subtlety. Well, yeah, but they don't understand the subtlety of it. No, he does not clone himself in the comics, dude. He is just a martial artist. Now they do mention chi from time to time, but then again, it's China. What do you want? But my other question I have, aside from that's kind of dumb, but you can have the opinion you want on that. My question is this, Eric. He is the most humdrum looking Asian I've ever seen in my life, dude. I mean,
It's very bored. Like he didn't want to be there for that photo shoot. And I'm afraid that's the way he's going to look through the whole movie.
yeah, and if you look at many of the pictures, he looks like that. The problem is, and maybe I have a better eye for this because I, spent half my life in Asia. But he's so humdrum, just run of the mill, standard, lose him in a crowd Asian, right? There's
Oh yeah,
nothing
yeah.
unique about him. There's nothing special. He has no presence. He has no charisma. He's just the normal fisherman or office worker, or he's just the dude on the street. Now, that could be valuable in certain situations. However, playing Shang-Chi, you need a little bit of that Bruce Lee in you because it is Bruce
Yeah.
Lee. Keep that in mind, right?
His
Uh,
posture isn't that good either.
no, although he seems to move fairly well for doing the stunts, which is cool. But it's weird that they didn't choose someone who is more dynamic, and it's not just his simple face. He's a very normal looking dude. It's his posture, as Erica just said, his stance. He has no presence. I mean, you see Bruce Lee. Now he was a bit tall for an Asian in general, but not so much. But when Bruce walked onto the screen, you didn't take your eye off of Bruce,
Right. He,
right?
he had a heroic presence and stature about him.
He did. And Jackie Chan can pull that off too. Chow Yun Fat can pull that off too, as well as Sonny Chiba and many, many, many Asian action type heroes. They hold your attention because they were chosen for the role because of that. This looks like they couldn't find another Asian; they just took the one they could get. Well, that's what it looks like. Now, this
I
dude
get you. Yeah.
And now this dude might be a fair actor. Oh, good on him. But to play an action hero, the dude they had playing Danny Rand in that god awful Netflix series had better presence than this guy, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah.
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 I mean, the dude that played Daredevil was awesome. The guy who played Luke, he was he was passable. And the chick who played damn it, what's her name?
Jessica.
No, no, the character's name.
Jessica? I'm
Jessica.
thinking
Yeah, Jessica.
Jessica Drew.
Yeah,
Not
no,
Drew.
it's not Jessica Drew. That's Spider Woman.
Spider Woman.
Well,
I know
whatever.
who
You
you
know
mean.
the one I'm talking about. I think she's a pretty good actress, but she was the wrong choice for that character in general. But anyway, my point is the dude just doesn't capture my attention at all. And yeah, Roger, Bruce Lee did have it. He had that X factor for sure, which is why he became so successful. So I don't know, and of course, this thing is getting banned and panned across the board. So I don't know, man. Are you interested in seeing this at all?
Wouldn't pay to see it, but I'd watch it otherwise. I'll tell you this though, there's already released the toys for this like a month and a half ago. They're just sitting on the pegs everywhere.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Interesting enough, though, they do have a dragon toy just called the Protector. It doesn't say anything else about him. I'm thinking it might be a Fing Fang Boom.
that's why you said the dragon. It might be Fing Fang Boom. It should be. I mean, that's a good way to introduce him with the Orientalism. You know, I still don't know why we don't get Fu Manchu. What's the problem with Fu Manchu?
It's too stereotypical, because
Why? What's wrong with
Manchu
stereotypes?
stereotypes are typically true.
Yeah.
I don't know what the problem is, Will.
Well, I mean, stereotypes at least have some truth in them. They're generalizations, is what they are. But there's been this pushback against Fu Manchu for quite a while, but I don't understand why. But it's the same question we had with Doctor Strange and the Ancient One. Why couldn't they just put an old wizened, Asian dude with the funky mustache? Everyone would get it. It's a wink, wink Easter egg, right? Everybody gets it. So what's the problem? We can't do that. So we're going to
Might
put a white woman
offend
in
one
there instead.
person.
right?
The person might get offended.
Yeah, no, it's kind of silly. However, whatever. I'm going to move on from this, but he's not a ninja. He's a martial artist. He doesn't need cloning power, you dumbasses. Quit stealing from other shit and pay attention to your own medium and read your research. And I hope this turns out well, but God, it looks boring, dude. It just looks horrible. Anyway, let's move on here. This right here I thought
No,
was kind of interesting.
Steve's right out. He says they should have made a Rom movie.
Oh, Rom would have been awesome. Yeah, dude. And that's got a good story behind it too. Yeah, I would love to see Rom, man. But that's that. I bet you it would be hard to get the rights for that. That was such a messed up thing. That was a toy first, and then it became a comic book. And yeah, I bet you the rights on that are just screwed up really bad, dude.
Probably.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead and read.
Amazon renews Wheel of Time for second season before first one airs.
All right. Well, we've seen this done before. That's not too shocking to me. The question we touched on this some while back, but they did just wrap production of season one in the Czech Republic. So they're using Eastern Europe, which I think is cool. And have you ever read any of the Wheel of Time books? I think there's what, four or five of them or something like that.
I have not. No.
Yeah, I've read two of them. I do own two of them. The first two, I actually have the role playing book as well, which is the size of one of those old dictionaries from back in the 50s. You know, those things that you can kill people with. Um,
Heard of those?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the giant ones. But so I do know the Wheel of Time. I stopped reading it because I was kind of thought it was boring. I read it because of the hype, and the first one was like, eh, and I read the second one, I was like, eh, and I was done with it.
They have a movie a couple years ago that bombed with Oprah Winfrey in it.
No, no, no. That's a thread in time. That's a different
Oh, okay.
young reader story. Yeah, that's different. No, this is a very very famous series of books. Like I said, I think there's five, but it's very famous. Made a lot of money. It's people talk about it all the time. And the premise is really very simple. It's set in medieval times, but time is not linear in these books. The past and the future exist together in a way, which is why it's the wheel of time, right? But basically, the general premise is they're chasing after the shadow, the evil, the dragon is returned. You know, the same crap you see with everybody. And it's okay. It's not bad. I don't understand the hype. It's no Tolkien, that's for damn sure. But it and I thought the Game of Thrones stuff written by what's the old fat fisherman's name? The guy who wrote the Game of Thrones stuff.
Is his last name Martin or something like that?
Yeah, H.R. Martin or R.R. Martin or something like that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that guy. His
Everybody's got
books.
to use these initials. What's it with that?
Well, they're all trying to be Tolkien. But his Martin's books, the Game of Thrones books, I've read two of those as well. Those are way better than the Wheel of Time as far as writing goes. I think Martin's descriptive ability, his ability to, as he's giving the narrative of the story, to also kind of, flesh out what you're looking at, what everything looks and feels like. Martin is really good with that, better than this series, I think. However, I don't want to knock on the Wheel of Time. I know it's very popular; people love it. But I'm more curious. Are you interested in another fantasy series? We got Game of Thrones. We had Witcher, which was so-so. We have the Lord of the Rings orgy party on the way. Are you interested in another one?
Really? Maybe oversaturating everything with it. Should just hit around the time Game of Thrones ended.
Well, Game of Thrones ended poorly, which is really too bad. It would have been
Yeah.
nice
Well,
if,
that's probably what caused it. A lot of people are kind of over the fantasy.
yeah.
I think a lot of it has to do with that.
Well, people should be over fantasy, zombies, and superheroes should be coming to the
Not
end.
zombies. Not zombies. Zombies are still a very important
They are. You're
storytelling
right.
device.
You're right. Yeah. But it's no big deal. There's no controversy here or anything like that. I just was curious what you or the chat thought. Joshua says, I Googled it and saw the Shang-Chi had clones of himself in the comics, but it was recent in the new Secret Wars or something. Yeah, well, they're probably trying to introduce it as canon. Like, oh, yeah, he's always been able to do that. You know, just like another article we're going to get to here at toward the end of the show. People always do that. Like, they said Doctor Who is in canon was a woman before. Well, yeah, they put it in the year before. How is that canon, right? Yeah. Anyway, there's no controversy here. Like I said, just a conversation about it, and they seem to be quite pleased with it. Therefore, they ordered a second.
Animated?
No, no, no. It's live action.
Okay.
That they just some reason had this art up. I don't know why. They just don't have any post stills yet. I guess they just wrapped up production in the Czech Republic. Well, I really want to say Czechoslovakia. Why can't I say Czechoslovakia anymore? I guess there's no more
Can.
Slovakia.
Old people know what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah, Czechoslovakia. It just feels better than Czech Republic. You know what I mean?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it's awkward. However, cool. I hope it's great. I'm definitely going to check it out. I did read the two of the books, like I said, and we'll see. I do like the color. There are a lot of different races. Well, I wouldn't call them races, species, I guess, like trolls and things like that in it. So,
Orcs? Is there orcs?
well, no,
Okay.
but the troll kind of fills that. But they're scholarly.
Okay.
So yeah, but we'll see. We'll see. It could be somewhat different than what you're used to, so that might be good. Anyway, let's move on. Oof.
Give me a second for it to load on the YouTube. It's still not loading into. It
Huh.
does that sometimes. And
It
screw it.
does. Discord can be odd from time to time. I don't know, but let me come over and see if there's anything I can do about it. Because sometimes
I don't
no.
think it's just weird. I mean, I'd probably have to totally sign out, so we don't have to worry about it. But I do see it now, and I will read if you're ready.
Yep. Go ahead.
New Masters of the Universe Revelation tie-in series announced.
Now, this is a comic book, and which is cool, and
Yeah,
from
very
Dark
cool.
Horse. Yeah, neat. And in this story, it takes place after the vicious Orlak attack on King Randor. Following the attack, He-Man learns the creature is linked to the origin of the Sword of Power. Okay, now this is important. I'm going to read this little bit of a description here, but it's important because to keep in mind. We gave last week. We talked, or 2 weeks ago. I can't remember, but we talked about how that there was a lot of evidence being leaked that this new He-Man movie from Kevin Smith, it's not about He-Man at all. It's about Tila, right? And a lot of pushback and a lot of nonsense been going on with it. Now, this article is a comic book, but let me continue reading, and you tell me what you think. Dark Horse adds, to save Randor and put an end to the chaos, He-Man embarks on an epic journey that puts him against his longtime foes Skeletor and Evil Lyn, and sees Tila take the reins of a powerful legacy. So what do they mean by this? And they just go on and talk about the artwork and the artists and stuff like that. Fine. But we know we've been getting a lot of rumors that He-Man is going to be sidelined, or maybe on some quest, or he's going to be doing something over here. And Tila is the one that's going to have to hold down the fort, as it were. And the show is going to, excuse me, the movie is going to mainly revolve around her. And this comic book is hinting that she's the one that's going to have to pick up the slack. Again, they say the same thing. So it's consistent that Tila is a main focus, if not the main focus, both with all the rumors coming out for the movie and here straightly quoted from the creators for the comic book. So what does that make you think?
It makes me think they're going to try to push He-Man off to the side and turn Tila basically into She-Ra, it sounds like.
It does, doesn't it? It sounds like they want to make her She-Ra.
And why in this image here is Skeletor and He-Man have the biggest breasts?
Because that's the rule. Well,
Okay.
we saw the pictures as well from the animation, right? Because the animated movie, as which I'm happy with. or series, sorry. But all the ladies in that are all way overly buff. They're unfeminine or non-feminine. Here we see it's something very similar going on, right? This is a little better, but
Hmm.
it's still. And then we over here have kind of the Mark Millar style, like almost a Hellboy-esque homage going on here in this picture. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about it. If they do this, which it looks like that's what you're getting, but if they do this, you're going to really upset a lot of people. I mean, you and I missed the He-Man thing. That came after us, and you might have seen an episode or two, but it wasn't in our wheelhouse by the age we were. But
I was right on the brink there.
It
Yeah.
was, that's right. However, there are millions of He-Man fans, millions.
Yeah.
And they're going to piss them right off. If you have a story that's not about He-Man, but you're calling He-Man, and I'm kind of wondering if you notice here, it doesn't call itself He-Man. I'm sorry, I stand corrected, Eric. It
Masters of
says
the Universe.
that's right. It's not He-Man at all. It's Masters of the Universe. Oh well, there you go. I have no trouble with Tila,
And
but
Kevin Smith.
lying to us too. That's going to
Hey,
piss people
baby.
even more.
Oh, will. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I just want to put this up because it seems to confirm all the rumors associated to the series, right? The miniseries, yeah, or the season. I don't know what they're calling it, Dave. But it's strange to me if this is what's happening, and it looks like that's what's happening. Why is Kevin Smith sitting up there saying, "No, no, 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 nothing to see here"? Why is he doing that?
You think it's for ratings like the first week as soon as it launches, try to hook people that not be on board, knew what it was really about?
Yeah, but ratings don't seem to matter anymore. I mean, She-Ra came out and they made this little girl lesbian, and everybody, all the women in it were lesbian and created by a lesbian. No one watched it. The thing's ratings were dead from day one, but it went how many seasons? Five, four,
True. Yeah.
something like that.
It went a
So
few.
yeah, so if it has the right politics, they'll run it for years. They don't care if if anyone's watching it. It seems. She-Ra's a perfect example, right? So we're getting looks like we're getting it's a very similar thing, but instead of She-Ra, it's going to be Tila. So whatever. It's unfortunate. It's going to upset a lot of people, He-Man fans, but I'll keep my eye open for news, guys. But so far, all the news we've reported, Tila's the show's protagonist, not He-Man.
It's comes out later this year.
I guess, yeah. I guess, yeah,
I'm sure when it comes out, I'll check it out though, see what it's like.
yeah. No, of course, I'm sure we all will. But you know, it's for you and I. I don't think we have too much of a dog in the fight, as it were, beyond just the principle of it. Because
Or He-Man was Dolph Lundgren.
well, yeah, but like I said, He-Man's never been anything to me. I didn't watch the show. It wasn't my thing. If you came out with Thundar the Barbarian show, I'd be much more excited, right? I mean, why don't they bring Thundar back? That was badass. That was post-apocalyptic too, man. That was cool.
Was
Yeah.
and what by Jack Kirby?
I don't know who did Thundar.
Yeah, I think he made the original designs. I think it was Jack Kirby.
Oh, there you go. All right, sweet. Comic book world connected. I know that was all that damn it, my brain's not working today. That thing where they take live action and then they draw on top of it.
Scope.
Rotoscope. That's right. Rotoscope. Yeah. But that was pretty cool. Anyway, next story.
Khan apologizes and pays the piper in settlement with John Della Rose.
All right. Well, I don't know if you guys been paying attention to this, but John has been on this show many times, and I definitely consider him to be a friend of the show. He does keep in touch with us and keeps checking in, seeing how we're doing. He's on our Discord. He does interact with us, so that's great. I know there was a huge amount of controversy with John way back, when this all started with Ethan and Vox playing their stupid games, and John kind of was the one who got buried for it, and I didn't think that was right, and I certainly tried to stand up for him. However, that's all the past, but it's not the past for John. Now, I know some of you say that John's a little bit of a stirrer. Fair enough, he might well be. However, he has been catching flack from all angles for quite a while, just simply because of his vote. Right? He voted Trump, I guess, and he's had a lot of trouble. A lot of people attacking him, a lot of death threats, things like that, which is the norm these days. To be fair, however, it all kind of accumulated. Jesus Christ, accumulated with WorldCon, basically, causing getting in on the game, and he had sent a letter to them and notifying that he was coming and all the stuff that was going on. But now they are being penalized for it. Now, I don't need to get in the details of it. You can go read that and make your own opinion. However, I would like to say congratulations to John for winning that suit. And also for him to keep going. Now, you guys need to understand something about John De La Rose. This dude is crazy prolific. He produces a lot of work. He's an actual professional writer, a real one, right? And I've read some of his stuff. It's not bad. And he puts out a lot of work, and he does science fiction, he does cyberpunk, he does all kinds of interesting stuff. And you see here he's got some great art for his covers as well. I would encourage you to read this article if you're interested in that. I mainly just wanted to give a shout out to John and say, congrats, dude. Keep up the good work and keep putting out these gorgeous books. And I suggest maybe go read one. He's actually not a bad writer, dude. Have you
Good
ever
for
read?
him.
Yeah, you ever read one of his stuff?
Oh, get him and someone else mixed up all the time, though. Or who the other guy is. Comic book about a priest?
I don't know that. He writes books as well.
Doesn't he do some comic book stuff too, though?
He does. He does the Flying Sparks. He's got this Justice thing he's doing here. But
I
I
think I've
read
read one
his.
of his comic books, yeah.
Yeah, I read. I do have his Flying Sparks, but I read a couple of his books. And yeah, like I said, he's not bad. You want to check it out. But mainly, this is just to say congratulations. And here you can hear him talking about his new books he's got coming out, and also explaining about the situation with WorldCon. So rock on, John. You keep doing that. All right, let's move on here. Go ahead.
Pops up.
Okay. Bring back the Shmoo. Yeah, that's been dead for a long time, Dave.
No.
Huh.
Come on. Here we go. I see you clicking on it now. And Hawkman artist Brian Hitch blasts DC Comics for letting the recent series fail.
Okay. Here's the real problem I have, Eric. I didn't even know there was a new series.
I didn't either.
Yeah. And it's sad because I kind of like Hawkman. I mean, he's not my favorite thing, but I enjoy that whole thing. Of course, you got the two separate storylines, and they can't seem to make up their mind. Is he simply attached to ancient Egypt, and he and his wife just constantly reincarnate, or is he a Thanagarian? Whatever. Is he both? Whatever. But I've enjoyed Hawkman, and of course, on those animated series that my kids were watching, which I enjoyed watching too. They had Hawkgirl was on one of them. What was that? Young Justice or Teen
Young Justice.
Titans? Whatever.
Justice, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, one of those. And I thought that was a cool character. I do like the Hawkman concept, and taking away all the confusion. The general concept is this: Hawkman and his wife have been being reincarnated for thousands of years. They live a life. They forget who they are, but something draws them together. They usually will find each other during a lifetime, and then of course eventually they'll die and they'll get reborn, and it happens again and again and again, kind of like a curse, I guess. And it's an interesting concept. It's different, to be sure. Hawkman is a very brutal fighter, and that's fun. And I've seen him drawn by some just absolutely fabulous artist. Back when what was that metal thing that they had going on? Um,
See, yeah, it was Metal. It was DC Metal, and that was the last time I knew of him having a
right.
series. I didn't know he had anything after that.
That's right. Me too. And in that series, we got some absolutely awesome Hawkman books, dude. Because he played a kind of a semi-important role in the whole in the whole storyline.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I mean, so anyway, I'm a fan. But I didn't know we had a new series, and it's gone. So let's see what Mr. Hitch says. It's a shame my Hawkman run with Robert Venditti didn't sell as well as we could have liked. I and the writers I work with can provide damn good comics, but it's up to the publishers to sell them, not not creators. And here, I think we were let down. Wow. Robert Vanetti says, such a missed opportunity, but we brought our best and did what many said was impossible. That's enough for me to be proud of. What's impossible? Writing and drawing a comic book, dude. Um, I think Robert and I held up our end of the creative bargain and gave DC a damn good comic. It was DC's job to interest anyone and everyone to buy it. They didn't, unfortunately. Well, there's some definitely sniping coming out of the creators, dude.
Yeah.
Huh. Justin Gray and I had a run after Jeff, and it was selling really well with buzz. And randomly, they took us off and put a new team on it, and it got canceled soon after. I mean, they pulled us off at the highest numbers. Clueless. Brian responds saying, "If it seems like a simple equation. Get the best out of the creator team, and then market and sell the shit out of it." Yeah, but Hawkman's not gay. You know, what do you want, Brian? Um, Hawkman, Brian continued. Hawkman launched in a week, sandwiched between the launch of Bendis' Superman bleh, and Snyder's Justice League. I think we got an announcement, but no pushes or fanfares. And of course, all the attention in stores and buyers went to those two launches, which had huge initiatives. Yeah, but the Bendis Superman thing was disgusting, and a lot of us were really pissed off about it, dude. But yeah, dude, he is sour grapes, man. Anyway, this goes on and on and on, I guess, and there's some opinion, and I don't see any rebuttal from DC themselves. However,
You wouldn't?
no, you wouldn't. What do you think about the idea of creators, snapping at the ownership?
Well, comic industry is totally different than any other industry out there. In the real world, you're not going to do that to your boss. But I guess in this case, I almost don't have a problem with it. If they were not getting promoted, they were passionate about the book, and Dave out here even says it was a good series.
Yes, yes,
Someone was reading it.
yeah,
I'm also surprised the websites mentioning it a good series because they'll pick up the random shit and promote it.
yeah. That's true. Well, I should go check it out because it is. I do like Hawkman. But the problem is, Brian is right because I didn't even know it existed. I'd heard
At all.
nothing, and this is something that I pick up right when I see random things like a new Moon Knights or something like a Hawkman. That's the kind of stuff I go check out, right? And I didn't hear even a peep about it, man. So is
No, I've
Hitch? Yeah, go ahead.
been going back to the comic shop for the past about 3 months, almost weekly. I have not even seen a promotional poster for this.
Wow. Wow. So, is Hitch big enough to bang that gong? Is he secure enough in his fame to be able to blast DC and not get burned for it?
He is probably one of their bigger artists, but I also believe he's a slow artist as well, though.
Hmm.
He started out doing the Ultimates over at Marvel
Yeah.
back in the. I always liked his art, but I think it
Yeah.
was kind of slow coming. But he's a good artist. Maybe he
He is
does
a
have
good
that
artist.
clout.
He is a good artist, and that's what I'm curious about with the clout because I'm sure he's right. If it came out at the time that they were doing the Bendis Superman thing, of course it didn't get any attention. they were just all Twitter pated with themselves for having Bendis come over, and the rest of us were like just terrified of it. And of course, it turned out to be we were right and they were wrong. But they were very, very beside themselves with Bendis coming over. They would not shut up about it. So if this was dropping at the same time, of course it didn't get any attention, dude. Of course. Yeah.
Or maybe wants out of a contract.
Yeah. Well, he got paid, so
Yeah, but maybe he has a all inclusive contract with DC. Maybe he wants out of it because DC crumbling.
maybe. And I'm sure if he has clout, he might be getting percentages on the back end too. And of course, that means he didn't make as much money as he was hoping. But I don't know. What I do know is I'm going to go check out the series, though. That I do know.
Aren't they also relaunching a movie about Hawkman, but he's going to be black?
Of course he would be. Of course he would be.
Maybe they need to get rid of the white series and bring in a new Hawkman.
Ah, dude, no, you're right. We did cover the stupid concept of Black Hawkman. But that kind of falls into the fact that they need to race swap everything, and the fact that they believe that the Black Africans built Egypt, because Hawkman is very connected to Egypt. His story is tied into that, very much with Shazam and stuff like that. But yeah, they can't get beyond the idea that the black people didn't build Egypt. They're really stuck on that.
Yeah, I know.
They really
What the
are.
hell is this guy talking about? He's mad about Hawkman. If you look at it like the dais of DC superheroes, where is Hawkman on that pedestal?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
How is he going to get it? How is he also going to rate a 2-page spread like Superman?
Yeah, but if you're that's true, John. But if you were over there drawing Hawkman, you get 10% on the back end, you'd be bitching too.
I would, yeah, probably.
Yeah. What do you think of the art, though, John? I think it's pretty good.
I think it looks great.
Yeah. But I'm going to go read it, though. I just wish I had known about it because I do enjoy reading these obscure things. I'm kind of like that, though, John. I like the obscure stuff. It attracts my attention more than the mainstream things.
Ah, you're a unique rebel, Chester.
Thank you. Okay.
You got the new Moon Knight series coming out soon.
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting for it.
Speaking of nobodies, where's Moon Knight rank?
Hey, now, it's one of my favorite comic book heroes. You'd be nice. But how's the book coming, John?
Oh, it's coming along great. I'm on the last 3 pages of coloring.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
Now,
Hey, what up, Lady Celtic Moon?
Hey, Lady Celtic Moon. Where are you in your book right now, Eric?
I am finishing up coloring the last few pages, and I got to letter it, and I will have it in my hands by mid-July.
Sweet. You guys are both on it. And I'm looking forward to them, too. They're going to be nice. But
Want to see a picture of the buckler kicking somebody in the face I'm coloring right now?
Yeah, sure. Let me come back over the other side.
There we go. Is it showing?
I'm clicking on it now. I'm not going to hold my breath because your stuff never seems to load ever.
Oh, damn it, Chester.
That's the trouble I'm having with Chester tonight. His stuff isn't loaded. I'm going to back out and come back in and see if I can see anyone's stuff.
There we go. Do you like that? I clicked on it. Still loading.
Oh, well, it's not important. You'll see it when the book comes out.
That's fair. That is fair. Although I do like to check those things out, though.
That's good stuff. I keep getting interrupted. I've had like a nice chunk of days where I'm like, oh, I can work, I can work. And for some reason, my kid has decided that these days are going to be the days she chooses to like get maimed and I need to go to the hospital and stuff.
Well, kids do that, That's what they do, dude. I remember one time I went, my kids were in the living room. And I said, okay, Daddy's going to the bathroom. I went to the bathroom. I went in. I didn't even get my buckle undone. And I hear screaming. Yeah, I went out. My son decided he was going to carpet dive off of the couch, the sofa. He was a little thing. He was like 3 maybe. And, of course, instead of hitting the carpet, his face hit the corner of the coffee table. God. Yep. He got a bunch of stitches that day.
It's weird because you get those instincts or those reactions only after you watch kids for a very long time. Like as they're running by, you kind of like just subconsciously put your hand over the sharp edge of the table you're sitting
Yep,
at.
you
You
do.
know?
That's true, dude. You do. It's very true. It's very true. You kind of do things after you've been around kids long enough, but they'll do that shit, man. You cannot take your eye off them for a second. I can't even remember how many times my son disappeared within literally 10 seconds at a shopping mall, and we find him in some corner crying, looking for mommy. Jesus.
Well, that's the issue with my kid, my little girl. She's almost 3. She'll be 3 tomorrow, but she got no damn fear. She'll walk
Yeah.
and will not look back.
Yep. Yep.
Into the darkness in a busy mall. And I followed her one time inside of like a Macy's. Just walked and followed her, and was hiding in the clothes just to see how far she would go before she would look back. And she went all the way across the whole mall, looked back, saw that nobody was following her, kept on going.
Yeah, no, they do like
have no
that.
reason to be afraid. They have no reason to be afraid at that age of anything yet.
Well, yeah, they're protected and stuff like that. But I'm
Yeah.
sure you have similar experiences. And now you got a bunch of
Oh, yeah.
grandkids running around. You must have to just tape everything down.
Pretty much. I mean, thank God our dogs are tolerant of the grandkids. They're little Yorkie poos. One's old and one's younger. But the oldest one, she would let those kids do anything. But now she's getting up there in age, like 15. She's like, fuck these.
Yeah, no, I get it, dude. Yeah, they're torturous to pets, man. There's actually a channel I watch here on YouTube. It's called This Is My Alaska, and it's a guy who's clearly either retired or close to retirement, and he's a lifelong contractor, carpenter. Clearly, you know he doesn't speak on his videos, but clearly he's a professional, and he's just been building this absolutely gorgeous log cabin in the middle of the woods, really quickly. But every now and then, his grandkids, he's got like 8 of them, will show up to the site, and the kids are constant because he doesn't speak, but the only time you hear him speak is when the kids show up because they're like, "Can I get on this? No. Can I climb that? No. Can I jump off that? No." Right? It's this constant wanting to commit suicide these kids are up to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny. How's the little one doing, John?
Oh, she's doing great. Tooth isn't coming out, but God, last night, because she sleeps in the bed with us, she, in the middle of the night, just kind of reared up, came straight back, and I have a snaggle tooth, and she caught me right with the back of her head on my snaggle tooth. My tooth.
Oh.
Oh.
But she's doing great. She's having lots of fun. Play all day.
So she can sit up
shit.
now.
Repeat. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
The new little one. She's crawling around now.
Oh, nice. That's fast, dude. You got a quick one there.
Yeah, she's actually getting a little bit better. She's becoming less of a nightmare with the crying.
Yeah, well, they go through that. Dad conversations with Chester. Shut up, Armoron. Comic, screw that. All right, fine. I'll get back
John,
to
you're
it.
still in demand.
Yeah.
I'll put the link in the chat here. Go.
Arlene says,
thank
my
you.
youngest not only disappeared in the store, but she hid and would move every time an officer or an employee got close. She didn't get to go anywhere for a couple of years, little snot. Yeah, they do that shit, dude. That's just the way it is. But yeah, you're right, guys. Let me get back to the job at hand here. Let me get back over to it. All right. Now this right here. Go ahead, Eric.
Wait for it to pop up on YouTube. Hold on.
It's already up.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Warner Media VP calls Mortal Kombat a top asset for HBO Max. Claims film performed beyond expectations.
Now, I put this up more as a placeholder for this general concept. We've seen corporations do this many times. Disney, like for instance, recently came out and said Rey is their future, even though Rey is ridiculously controversial and she's the least like of all the characters that came out in the new stuff, et cetera, et cetera. We've seen many companies stick to their guns, as it were. Now, I appreciate sticking to your guns, I do, and I don't have a problem with it per se. But we know with this Mortal Kombat, it most certainly didn't perform beyond expectation. It underperformed incredibly so.
It might have had very low expectations.
Well, maybe that's what it comes down to. Now, what do you guys think about the concept of these companies sticking to their guns to the point of lying?
No, just suck it up
Well,
and take the hits. The movie sucked. Movies
it's
suck. If
not
it
new. It
sucks, just
depends
move on.
on how much you have invested.
Yeah, that's fair.
I
That's
mean,
fair.
you got a lot of money invested in something. You're going to be like, hey, this is going to be good. Don't worry about it. It's going to be great. If you don't, then hey, we tried and we failed. But they got too much invested in Mortal Kombat. There was so much advertisement for Mortal Kombat, and it was just bad on every level. It didn't deserve to do well. And
Yeah.
you got to stick to your guns at some point. You can't just be like every time you fail at something, or you got to. If you have that much invested, give it a little bit more money, give it a little bit more, push. See if you can get people to kind of get behind it a little bit more. I understand it. I don't appreciate it, but I understand it.
Yeah, I think I have the same general concept, outlook on it. I get it. I get it. Especially with this Mortal Kombat thing here. They have contracts out with these actors for 5 movies.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. But then again, I don't understand why these companies put out these big contracts, especially when you have actors who aren't necessarily that much in demand. They had like a 7 movie contract with Brie Larson. Why?
Oh God.
Just give her
But
one
she
at a
was going to
time.
be the next thing, the next coming of Christ, is what they thought.
Right. And I'm wondering if that's similar with the Daisy Ridley girl. Maybe they just have still movies left in her contract, because they're sticking to their guns with her as well, and that's kind of weird. Because of anyone out of that series, the one you would think they might want to pursue and do something more with would be like Finn. I mean, Finn was the coolest character. Well, at least in the first movie. Then they completely abandoned the character. But I mean, I don't know, Eric. Who was your favorite? Did you have a favorite in the Force Awakens at all?
Oh yeah, it had to be Han Solo.
Well, I meant new characters.
I liked Finn. I liked him quite a bit, and
Yeah.
it's really surprising they just abandoned him throughout the whole series after that.
Yeah, he had the most presence, the most charisma. The Adam Driver guy, he's a pretty good actor, but he just never came across quite right in the movie for me. I didn't see the third one. The second one pissed me off too much. But I think
Third
it's a
one's
shame.
better than the second. It's not as bad as the second one, not at all.
Well, see, but I've heard people say it's worse.
No, it's more fan service than anything.
Oh, fair enough. But what do you think about that, John? With the Daisy Ridley character, the Ray.
I don't. Well, the thing is this: like, you kind of, ever since the trilogies became a thing, you kind of have to weigh your options. You need these same characters to come back, and you can't end up in a situation where the movie is so successful that they come back and renegotiate a new contract for much more money.
Yeah.
You're gonna want to try to lock them in at a reasonable rate, kind of low, and maybe they're obligated for seven movies to come back and do it. Which is, I guess, is a good reason to push them, because so I think it's kind of like a balancing act with it. You never know what's going to hit and what's not, because like, imagine if they had to renegotiate with Harry Potter every time they was coming back for a movie.
Yeah,
As wildly
that's
successful
fair.
as those were.
That's fair.
So with Daisy Ridley, I mean, she's very bland, very generically cute and likable. I don't see any reason why they would be like, well, we're gonna take a huge risk by hiring her, movie to movie. It was more so the directors that screwed the pooch on that one than her.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think she is, kind of like you said, she's kind of bland, but she's not horrible. It just depends on who you put around her. But I
Mhm.
do think they missed, and of course now we know with all the news coming out with JJ admitting there was no plan at all, which I don't understand that thinking at all. That's pretty stupid. However, they should have had, Finn and Ray moving forward, doing stuff together. It should have been Finn and Ray on the screen a lot together. That would have been a lot more fun, because I think she's fine if she's been being surrounded by the right people. And that actor John Boyega, he's not a bad actor at all. He's got a lot of screen presence. I like the
Right.
character. So
But there was just, again, it was a bloated thing. Everything had to
yeah.
be in the movie. There was so much going on. Like, I went back and watched those new Dragon Ball Z movies.
Oh, uh-huh.
And when you watch these god tier characters and they're flying across the screen, and it's almost like a strobe light effect. Everything's happening so fast. I mean, it's exactly what it was watching this Last Jedi movie, where they're on a horse, or pseudo horseback, and there's lasers going off everywhere, and everything's flying around, and you don't know what the hell's happening. And I was kind of thinking about that, like, comparing the new Dragon Ball stuff to like the beginning stuff where they're at the tournament, they're all little kids, and he's explaining to the guy, well, it was going too fast. Let me show you. And he was picking him up, showing him, I kicked like this, then I went like this, and it was really funny and small and, intimate. And because this is one of those big blockbuster studio films, you're never going to get that intimacy back with these things, like the original Star Wars. It's just going to be bigger and more
Flashy.
Noise on the screen,
That's true. That is true. Dave says Harry Potter versus Darth Vader versus Sub-Zero fight. Dude, Darth Vader wins easy. There's not even a challenge to that. He just simply chokes him down and it's over. However, I'm going to move on. Yeah, I don't know what's going to go on here in Mortal Kombat. I'm willing to give them time to see if they can't build on it and do better. I think one of the things that absolutely hurt them, other than the fact that it wasn't a great movie, was all the damn media noise before. Shut your people up. Stop talking about any kind of negative media stuff. I don't care whether it be woke nonsense or non-woke nonsense. It doesn't matter. Shut them up. Only say good things about your movie. Shut these people down because that hurts you. More so, without question, it hurts you. But anyway,
yeah, that first 7 minutes they released was probably the most brilliant thing they could have done, because that was the only, like, the first 20 minutes of this movie was actually good. And they showed us, oh, this is what this movie's gonna be. It was like, oh, it was the biggest scam of all time. I'm not giving this movie a second chance. They got me. They 100% got me for my money, and I'm like, damn it. But I can't, fool me once, kind of deal.
Right. Right. Pete Mac says, as long as they never reboot Zardoz, I'm good, dude. I can see Chris Pratt running around in a onesie. I can. No,
Yeah,
nobody.
I can see that.
Yeah, I can see that.
No,
Yeah.
definitely.
I can see that.
Probably does it anyway.
I'm unfamiliar with Zardoz. I'm sorry.
Sean Connery movie where there are these kind of like gods that live forever and they're bored.
That's the one with the red underwear?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I seen a picture of that,
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead, Eric.
You switch it?
I did.
Shoot, if I loaded on Discord and didn't switch on me. Oh, there it goes.
Man.
Iron Fist just gave up his power to save the Marvel Universe. Yeah, there's another one of those Black Panther chicks.
It is the Black Panther chick, and they've whitened her up quite a bit too. I don't know. I thought that in these days it would blacken them up instead of lighten them up, but mulatto is the future, I suppose. In this final issue, Iron Fist, Danny Rand gives up his powers as the immortal Iron Fist in order to save the Marvel Universe. So it doesn't suggest why, just that it happened. And I would ask the question: Okoye is there, and of course he's he's combining the might of his power with Okoye's Dragon Chi, which didn't know she had that. Sweet. They are pushing Okoye like absolute mad, and of course with that, Okoye becomes the new Iron Fist. So there you go. The Black Lady from Black Panther movies, who played what was her name in The Walking Dead? What was her name? Michonne, which is a cool character, much cooler than the Black Panther one. She is the new holder of the Dragon Chi. She is the new Iron Fist. So what do you guys think about that? We've gone from a white dude holding the Chinese power to a black African lady. Is that an improvement?
The Chinese people should be pissed and not support anything Marvel does ever again.
Well, I'm just saying they go on and on and on about how dare they have a white guy involved with anything from China. Although we talked about this before, it was clearly a fish out of water story was the whole point. However, they went on and on and on about us. This is horrible. White man holding a Chinese ancestral legendary whatever. But now they switch it over to a black African lady. So what's the difference? Anybody?
I'm too white to answer that. I'm sorry.
Are you? All right. And what about her duties? She is the leader of the Dora Milaje. I mean, isn't doesn't she have responsibility? What's she doing outside of frickin' Wakanda anyway? Huh?
Were
One
you just gonna say the
responsibility: protect the
kitchen?
king.
No, the thing is this: Danny Rand, in the greater cultural consciousness,
Yeah,
is the guy from the TV show, and it's awful.
it is awful. That's true.
People don't know the comics. Most people don't. Comics are a smaller thing.
It's true.
So they would be, hey, that lady that I actually know and like is going to be replacing this guy that was awful. You know,
Yeah. Now, to be
that's what they're
fair,
thinking in their head.
well, to be fair, she was only the Iron Fist during that comic. She gave the powers back to Xiao Lo, the dragon. So I'm sure he'll get his powers back one way or the other. Just the whole concept of it, I think, is kind of silly. And for us comic book fans, and I understand what you're saying, John, you're 100% right. But for us fans, though, to be fair, some of the best Marvel comic stories ever written are from Iron Fist, dude.
Hmm.
Him and Daredevil, these kind of lower tier guys that are the street level type things, end up being some of the best stories because their lives are in danger. It's a struggle for them to save everyone, and you believe it because they're not that powerful. And these stories resonate with us a lot more than say Superman. Now, I love Superman, but in the end, Superman's going to always succeed. We know all heroes will, but there is no suspension of disbelief with Superman at all. Whereas with Batman, it's possible. And then when you bring it down even another level to Daredevil, Iron Fist, Moon Knight, Shang-Chi, even, the threat is palpable as you're reading it. And this is one of the good things. And I know a lot of you guys maybe haven't read a lot of Iron Fist books, but I'm telling you, you should go back and read some of them because they're truly some of the best stuff Marvel has ever written.
I
Where
haven't read any of the
Sabretooth
older
came
ones,
from,
but
right,
I'm sorry, one at a time.
John?
I was saying I haven't read any of the old Daredevil, but I had seen some artwork from some of the newer Daredevil stuff recently, and that actually, prompted me to go because it looked really good. It looked like a lot of photo reference, but godly, man, it was really well rendered.
Hmm.
And so I actually went and picked up a couple of new ones. I wasn't a big fan, so maybe I'll give it another chance and go look at some of the older ones.
Yeah, no,
But
Daredevil as well, but I'm talking about Iron Fist specifically. No,
oh,
Daredevil
you
as well.
said
There's some
both.
great stories.
You
Hey,
said both, Chester.
I did, and I meant it. Yeah. Go ahead,
Uh,
Eric.
Sabretooth was originally a Iron Man or a Iron Fist and Power Man's enemy.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, he started out there before he went over to the X-Men.
Yeah. Although
Did
he
you see
found
who's
his
writing this?
no
Harry Hama's writing this.
Hama. Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh, there you go. Oh yeah. No. All right. Larry Hama and Dave Watcher. Well, there you go. But like I said, she's not the new Iron Fist. She's not. But she held the power for a little while and gave it back to the new reborn dragon. But that's kind of it just interesting to me because these SJW types never shut up about they hate Iron Fist amongst out of comic book characters almost most of all. I don't know. They just really stuck up on it, and this seems like maybe Hama was just fucking with him. I don't know.
Could be.
Maybe, but anyway, we'll see how they work that out. But my suggestion to go read some of the Iron Fist because I know a lot of people haven't read Iron Fist. You should go seek out some of those more acclaimed series and read them. They're really good, dude. They're really, really good. Because another thing with Iron Fist, more so than Daredevil per se, Iron Fist, because he does have the dragon power, they will put him up against a little bit tougher opponents than Daredevil necessarily, and therefore the threat level is even higher, right? And they're also not afraid to put Danny in very, very compromising situations, where unless you're Mark, what's that asshole's name? Mark something. Can't remember his
No, a
name.
lot of assholes named Mark.
No, the one who write Kingdom Come. He never shuts up. He's like the ultra.
Oh, Mark Wade.
Mark
Wade.
Oh, Mark Wade.
Unless you talk about his run of Daredevil, which don't read that. Don't read that. It's insanely stupid.
Chester, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Give me the name of a Daredevil I should read. Give me a run.
Frank Miller.
Born Again.
Yep.
How long is it?
6 issues?
Yeah, something like that. 6 or 8.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
Yeah. Really good. Anyway, let's move on. I just thought this was kind of ironically funny. But we'll see. It looks like they're mixing it up with Danny, though. I'm kind of wondering what the long term would be. Do you think that they did this as an introduction, and he's fighting with her because they want to do an actual series with her on Disney Plus. They want her to have her own spin-off series. And it could be cool. I mean, the actress that does Michonne is pretty good actress. She's not bad. I don't like the look she's got though. The bald hair doesn't work for her. The long hair was much better. However, what do you guys think about? Because clearly they're pushing this hard. What do you think about her getting her own spin-off series? Think would you be interested in watching that?
No, but
No,
I
not
can
really.
understand why.
She was a cool character in Walking Dead, dude.
No, she was a cool character in The Walking Dead, and she was a memorable character to some extent in the films. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't, given some of the characters that they've given spin-offs to, why they wouldn't give her one. It just didn't seem like there'd be anything interesting in it for her. I mean, her character is tied to me inexorably to the Black Panther, and if he's not going to be in it, I really don't care what she's doing, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
When
That's fair.
when her crew showed up in the series, the Falcon Winter Soldier, when they showed up, I was kind of like this is like one of those like side stories that didn't really need to be in the main
Right.
story, like
Well,
really boring. Like, let's move it along.
Well, it's like the only black lady they got for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
There's some other really famous black Marvel ladies that they could have, a la Storm. But nope, they're not interested in her. But whatever, we'll see. The thing I also noticed in the movie, I didn't watch the Falcon and the Winter Soldier because it was dumb. But because I watched an episode or so and it was like, no, this is stupid. But I did see her in the Black Panther movie, and I have to say that the people who shot, whoever the director was or the cinematographer for the Black Panther, that movie was mediocre at best. And one of the things that I caught with this actress is the fact that in The Walking Dead, when she was using her Nihonto and fighting and stuff, and I kind of wish they kept
When she was using her what?
her Nihonto, her katana.
Oh,
Her sword.
katana. Okay.
When she was using her Japanese sword, and she had the two zombies in the beginning. That was the coolest. They should have kept the zombies. That was neat. But whatever. The way they shot her in fighting, the angles they took with her worked really well. They showed her off well. But in the Black Panther movie, the angle that the cinematographer was shooting her in the action scenes was not good, dude. It was not flattering. Right? Because she's not an actual action hero. She's just an actress. But clearly, you can shoot it where she looks good compared to where she doesn't look good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it was very clean, very sterile. It was like, oh, I got a clean outfit. I'm going to do a full body shot. Look at me doing twists and turns with my little bow staff, whatever. No, like in The Walking Dead, she was slimy and grimy and sweaty and very dirty. It's a zombie apocalypse, and it was very dark and gritty. It was great.
It was great, yeah. I really wish they kept those the zombie hounds she had, though. That was pretty cool, dude. That was a neat
I understand
thing.
getting rid of them, but it was a very great introductory image, seeing her with the two, jawless zombies.
That was
next to her.
cool.
That was great.
Yeah. No, it was really neat, dude. Yeah, I liked it. Anyway, all right. Let's move on from this, but we do have a connecting story here. Very important one. Very important. Go ahead, Eric.
Give me a second.
Yeah. Now this one, I'm glad John's here. I'm glad it's almost fortuitous that John showed up because we need to get his opinion here.
Oh,
What? Why?
I know what it is.
Go ahead.
Goes up.
Oh, this guy must be an artist. That's why you're assuming that he's like me.
Black Panther 2 actor Tenoch Huerta reportedly playing
Huerta.
Namor.
Yeah.
It's
Puerta.
Tenoch
Puerta.
Tenoch. All right. Black Panther 2 actor Tenoch Huerta reportedly playing Namor. Now, okay, cool. This means they're doing the Illuminati storyline, which is a more modern take. Which okay, fine. And I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. The Black Panther thing is in major trouble because their actor died. They're trying to piece it together, and good luck to them. Is all I can say. However, Namor is an interesting character. He's very powerful. He's the king of Atlantis, and he's an asshole. He's an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not a good guy per se. And of course, early in the comic books, he was a villain. Now, here's the question I have for you guys and the people in chat as well. This fella, I have his picture up here in front of us. I guess he is a Latino descent, I suppose. His name says that, although he looks Pakistani to me.
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. But either one of those things aside, I don't have a problem with Namor being of Mexican descent or Pakistani descent or Arab or whatever. That doesn't matter at all. For sure, Namor's always been something a little different anyway, so it's
Yeah,
probably a
but
good thing.
does this bro even lift is what I want to know.
That's my point. Yeah, he doesn't look like he has any presence whatsoever. He doesn't strike me as the king of Atlantis. The hubris of Namor. Can you guys see this in this guy's face at all?
Looks like the local guy at the Geek Squad down at Best Buy.
Does he?
He looks like if he were to go bad, right? He looks like somebody that might be in like a cartel movie. Somebody that works under, some
Yeah.
main boss.
He was in a cartel movie. He was in.
Was he? Well, there you go.
Yeah. Well, you know what he looks a lot like? He looks like the guy that used to mow my aunt's lawn.
Oh my
Oh,
God,
dude.
Chester!
Oh, jeez, Chester. Don't say that shit.
No. He does look like he should be in Narcos or something. He looks like
He was in Narcos. He was in Narcos.
Oh, well, there you go. No, he does look like he'd fit in one of those things as some lackey or something like
But
that.
are they going to give him that Romulan eyebrow treatment? Is that what they're going to do?
Well, and the ears, right? I'm sure that's easy to pull off. But I just don't. This guy doesn't strike me as Namor at all. I mean, I don't get it. He just he doesn't sell it. And like I said, obviously they're doing the Illuminati line. Clearly that's what they're doing. But does he even lift? The first thing John said. Yeah, he needs to be in incredible shape. He needs to carry himself with a kingly presence. I mean, the haughty, arrogant king is what Namor is. And this guy doesn't look like he can pull it off. Now he's an actor, so maybe he can. They hired him for a reason, I guess, and the MCU they do seem to want to make money. I don't know, but I just thought it when I saw
There's
the
a lot.
article.
There's a lot of tricks you can do with the camera to make somebody appear like something they're not.
Sure.
I just don't feel like this guy has that the face. He just doesn't have the face for me, or the body. But who
No.
knows? I've been wrong before.
Yeah, no, we have, and this conversation we just had with the lady who plays Michonne in The Walking Dead. She looked badass, and in Black Panther, she didn't. So they can work it out. We'll have to see though. But if he is in Narcos, he's probably a fair actor then, because that was a pretty good series. Jeff says, "Woke crowd buying airfare to Japan starting in 5, 4, 3." Okay, fine. All right. Hey, man, my aunt needs her lawn cut too. Okay, all right. Actually, where I come from, the people who cut lawns are usually white dudes. So I'm not from California. Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Well, it is. It's because on the movies and stuff, we always see that joke coming out of California. But where I come from, no, not at all. Although
It's a long way. It's a long way for a Mexican to get to where you come from.
that's fair. That is fair. We do have people over there. I actually have family from Dominica and Puerto Rico. Some of my cousins married, and so we do have Latinos up in the area. But they're
Oh, hold
just
on a second. Hold on a second. We got new information from Jeff Potts. He says Tanok was credited for playing the best King Lear in Crossville Community Theater history.
all right. Thanks, Jeff. Well, that explains it. That explains it. They hired him to play Namor to piss off all the whitey nerds, Chester. Sheesh. Well, I see. The thing is, I that didn't come to my mind at all. Namor is always been something different, nondescript. I mean, having a non-white Caucasian, a non-Celtic Caucasian playing him makes perfect sense. I think it's a good idea. That's not the point. My point is this dude doesn't look like Namor. He doesn't look like he can be Namor, right? But we'll see.
Right.
We'll see because
The only connection that I can see, honestly, and I'm being honest here, whenever I see a character that has slicked back black hair, I always think Hispanic.
really why
Oh,
Yeah, that's just a very common hairstyle for Hispanics.
is it? Oh,
I see. I can see
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I slick my hair back too.
Your hair's all white, Chester.
Well, I still have some of the blonde left. It's a little left.
Got blue eyes too, Chester.
I have nearly pale silver eyes. They're so light. Yeah. But anyway, moving on. I hope the dude does a great job, though. I really do, because Black Panther can only go up in my opinion. So hopefully he brings something cool to the character. It's just, but then again, Robert Downey Jr. when he was cast for Iron Man, I was like, what? Really? That druggy guy? Really? And then
Joshua Hughes makes a point. He says this isn't a good picture. He says he looks better in the picture in Grace Randolph's video thumbnail about it, if they're the same person. Maybe this is just him in his role in Narcos. That's why he looks like that.
All right, well, let me go check it out. That's a fair point, dude, because that's the only contention here is his appearance. Okay.
And maybe find a picture of him with his shirt off, nice and oiled up.
Yeah, that would help. No, he looks a lot more Mexican in these pictures than he does in that one. That's fair. Less Pakistani, but I guess there's a certain handsomeness to him. He's almost got a
wait,
little
he looks
bit,
more Pakistani in these pictures.
some of them, yeah, that's true. But he in some of these pictures he looks quite Spanish, actually.
He's a
No.
scrawny little guy without his shirt.
Yeah, no,
He looks like one of those. He looks like a Moor.
he does. That's why the Spanish thing came up in my mind. Yeah, you're right. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe he's a great actor. Maybe he'll be able to pull it off, but he just doesn't look the part. But then again, the point that John made when he first came in here, people don't know who Namor is. They have no clue about the comic book. So whoever they get is Namor. If they like it, that's going to be their Namor. But no, these pictures aren't helping me at all. They're not helping
Chester,
me at
not.
all.
And this fight
Has been
this fool
rumored to
better
be
hit the
with Black
damn
Panther
gym.
since November.
Oh, fair enough.
He was rumored to play White Tiger back in November.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. Now, see, I could see
And
him pulling off White Tiger better than Namor, though.
Is this man in real life? Is he homosexual? Is this why he's getting pushed?
I kind of feeling that out of the pictures. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, he does seem kind of let's see, Mexican. He is Mexican. Okay, he's not Spanish. He has appeared in a number of movies in Latin America. Cool. And Spain. Oh, maybe that's the fashion vibe threw me off. I don't think it would mention his sexuality here. He's not well known. But I see your point in that. But anyway, good luck to you, dude. I hope it's awesome. And let's move into our last little bit of news today, by request of Eric, by the way. And also, it brings up the question of idiots messing with stuff they didn't create. But hey, go ahead, Eric. Go ahead.
Just wait for it to catch up. Hold on. Oh, wait. New Loki promo reveals character is gender fluid.
All right. Now, not that I give a shit, but this gender fluidity of Loki is a new development. When the character was created, he certainly wasn't. And Eric and I were even talking earlier. If you read the old mythos about the Asgardians, um, uh, if I ask you the question amongst Loki and Thor, which one of them has actually worn a dress in the mythologies, the answer would be Thor, not Loki, which is an interesting little fun story if you want to go read that. However, this comes to the conversation of taking someone else's work and changing it. Now, we talked about Neil Gaiman and his Sandman, and he's changed a lot of stuff for this live action series they're doing. And, whether we like it or not, it's his creation. He could do whatever hell he wants with it. It is his, right? And whether we buy it or not, that's up to us. However, Loki, as far as Marvel comic books Loki, has never been anything even close to gender fluid. He's Loki, right? But this is a new thing that they tag on, and then they say, "Oh, he's always been gender fluid. This is nothing new." And they do this with so many things. So for me, this is more. I don't really care, and I don't think it'll matter. I hope the series is great. The trailer looks great, but the thing is, why? Why is it so important to take someone else's creation and literally shat upon it? Why is this so desperate amongst these people? Is my question.
What are you asking me for?
Because they can?
Just because they can. Yeah. I don't know. Does this mean anything to you guys whatsoever?
I'm going to be honest here.
Well,
I don't
Chester?
even know what gender fluid means.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I really don't even know what it means.
It means, I guess what it means is you could be man or woman from moment to moment as you choose.
Are they showing here his file?
And it
And
says
in the file, when it says
fluid
gender-
under gender. Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's how they sneak it in. That's how they sneak it in, right?
That's great.
It is great, but I don't really care because they've had him as female. Although I think this was a different character. But now the thing with it is in the movies and in the comic books as well, he is a shapeshifter, and in the mythology also he is a shapeshifter. And to make a little aside with it, there is a story where Odin wants to get the walls built to surround Asgard and protect it. Right? He wants to build protective walls, and this is from the mythology, by the way. And they kind of put out a call, and they're trying to figure out how to do it. And this man shows up with a horse, and he says, "I can build your walls." And they said, "Well, are you sure about this?" And they had a kind of conversation. And he says, "I will get it done by this set date." I think it was 1 year. And they said, "Okay, well, what do you want to get paid for it?" And he says, "Well, my payment is I want to be able to have a conversation with Freya." Because I guess he said he wanted to ask for her hand or something like that. So he didn't ask for Freya. I mean, give me your goddess. It was he wanted to talk to Freya. Now the gods are like, no, 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 human can talk to Freya. And Loki said, hey, 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 there's no way he can get this done in a year. Just do it. We'll get most of it done and we'll be able to finish it ourselves. It's perfect. So they said, okay. So this guy went about work, and he was quite amazingly fast and strong, and it was the horse really. This amazing horse could pull any weight he wanted. And this guy was getting it done, and the year was coming up, and they were really getting worried because it looked like he was going to finish on time, and therefore be able to talk to Freya. And Loki, worried because he's the one that said we should go for this, he figured he needs to solve the situation. So what Loki did was he went and turned himself into a female horse, and he lured the big strong male horse away. And the guy failed. It turned out this guy was actually Jotun, and my story continues. The important
Man,
thing,
Loki literally taking one for the team.
well, literally, because here, this is the mythology, by the way. Loki showed up sometime later, right? Quite a while later, and in tow, he had a 6-legged pony with him, or an 8-legged pony, sorry, with him. And he gave it as a gift to Odin, and he says, "Never ask me about it." And of course, that 8-legged pony is Sleipnir, the famous horse of Odin, right?
It's his son?
It's his child he birthed while he was in the form of a female horse, a mare.
So
So
Loki took a horse cock.
he did. He
Pregnant.
did. He did.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's the mythology. So I don't actually mind this. It's just that's not the canon of the Marvel character that has been created. So I don't know.
This should definitely be what this season is about.
That would be cool.
Loki goes to Tijuana.
Oh goodness gracious!
What's up with his head? He's looking like Tom Hanks in that what's that Da Vinci Code movie with the really big receding face. God, what's happening to him? He's getting old, huh?
Owen. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about Owen.
No.
Like,
Loki here.
Oh, Hiddleston.
Look at that face.
Yeah, well, he is getting older. He is.
I think it's that face, but with the jet black hair is what's doing it.
Maybe I have seen him in person, and he actually is he has dirty blonde hair like me. But yeah, so but I don't know. I like the actor though. I think he does a good job. It's just this they always have to squeeze this nonsense in. And if they would just shut up, just shut your damn mouth, leave your little Easter eggs you put in, you would have more people watching your things. Because every time they come up with something new, they always have to put out this nonsense. They cause this controversy, and they think it's going to get more people to look at it. But in the end, it always causes less people to look at it. So if you just shut your mouth, put your thing out, you would be more successful. But they can't help themselves, dude. They can't help themselves. And I do have a quote here. Excuse me, a thing here from Pete Mack. Chester, have you seen the fake USA Today advert for that degenerate furry movie Netflix is making, Sweet Tooth? Well, no, but Sweet Tooth is on Netflix, and I'm planning on watching a couple episodes tonight. Eric has already seen it. Eric, would you like to talk about Sweet Tooth?
Very much like the series, but I never did read the book. And
is this a Twisted Metal thing?
No.
No. It's like a pandemic has wiped out the population or affected a lot of the population. Then all of a sudden, these hybrids are being born at the same time. These babies with animal features.
Yeah.
And so everybody hates the hybrids. They think they have caused this plague, and they start hunting them down. So one parent takes one out to live in the woods until he dies, and then Sweet Tooth as the kid, because he's addicted to sweets, has to grow up on his own and try to find his way in the world that hates him.
Yeah.
TV show I liked. I watched all 8 episodes in about 2 days. I enjoyed it. Then again, I know nothing about the book, and when I started reading about the book, it is totally different than the TV show. TV show has made me.
I was going to say something about that. Eric Boyd.
Obviously isn't.
Go ahead.
No, Eric Boyd.
I noticed that
before I could interject. You shut your mouth and put your thing out, Camille.
Oh, me? Yeah, just shut your mouth and put your thing out. That's right. What's wrong with that? Nicolas Cage here. That's true. Dumb's the name. But no, I'm actually going to watch it. I'm slightly disappointed that it's basically a more of a family show.
It's a good thing I warned you, though.
I'm disgusted that this is yet another Ginger property. I'm sick of them.
Okay. But the comic book, which I have read, it's brutal, dude. It's brutal. And that's one of the appeals of it. So the fact that they've softened it up is certainly going to, reduce it for me. However, if they want to hit a larger market, it is an interesting story. But what you saw in and of itself, you seem to like, though, Eric.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I even let my granddaughter start watching it. She liked it. So then the wife started watching it tonight. She seemed to like it. So I'll probably watch it the next season if it comes out. I mean, being on Netflix, who knows? They might just cancel it for no reason.
Yeah, no, they like to do that. It is weird for me to hear you say that you brought kids to watch Sweet Tooth. Either version,
yeah.
Even the Twisted Metal one. Yeah, that's not for kids. But whatever. I am going to check it out tonight, and we'll see it though. But that's what I got for today. Some interesting interesting stuff going on, I guess, as usual. But thank you all for coming over here and joining us. And tomorrow, of course, we do have the D&D. If you want to come and be a part of that, and we are doing the Ultimate Edition, Drawn and Quartered here on
Urge.
Thursday. What is our query to this week?
I don't think we ever decided.
Rabbit's in charge of that. But we'll see
He's
what
the,
it
he's the
comes.
boss.
He is the boss. Him and Booster and Pixel, which is terrifying. However, just reiterate, in 2 weeks, the week of the 20th through the 26th, we will have no shows here. I am going. I'm taking a week. I'm gonna take a week of rest and relaxation.
What you
Uh,
gonna do?
I'm gonna go to Tokyo.
Don't go to Disneyland. I just came back from Disneyland. It's a nightmare.
Yeah, no, I don't. I haven't been in Disneyland since I was a kid. Yeah. So anyway, John, would you like to have some closing comments?
No, I'm good. Bye.
Okay. Eric.
Well, I'll be shipping out the Zone of World of Oz #3 in August. It is still in demand on Indiegogo if you want to go out there and look. I didn't do a campaign on Indiegogo this time. I just switched my in-demand store from issue 2 over to issue 3. Didn't even advertise it. I've already picked up like 6 backers and $240. But so if you're interested and you like Indiegogo, you hate Kickstarter, go take a look.
There you go. All right, guys. Thank you very much. We'll check you out tomorrow. Later.
All right.